Slight hasty labours in this easy play present not what you would, but what we may. For this, vouchsafe to know, the only end of our now study is not to offend. And if our pen in this seem over-slight, we strive not to instruct, but to delight. Sit then with fair expectance, and survey nothing but passionate man in his slight play, who hath this only ill, to some deemed worst, a modest diffidence and self-mistrust.
Nay, comfort, my good host Shark, my good Mulligrub.
Advance thy snout. Do not suffer thy sorrowful nose to drop on thy Spanish leather jerkin, most hardly honest Mulligrub.
What? Cheating Cuckold has run away with your nest of goblins. True. What then? They will be hammered out well enough, I warrant you.
Sure, some wise man would find them out presently.
Well, yes, true, if we could find out some wise man.
How was the plate lost? How did it vanish?
In the most sincere prose, thus. That man of much money, some wit, but less honesty.
Cheating Cuckold
Comes this night late into mine host Mulligrub's tavern. Calls for a room. The house being full, Cuckold consorted with his instrument of fornication. The bored Mistress Mary Fock is imparled nearest the street. Mine host comes in, cries, God bless you, and departs. A blind harpist comes in, craves audience. Plays. The waiter is nodded out for female privateness' sake, knowing that whosoever must hit the mark of profit must, like those who shoot in stone bows, wink with one eye, grows blind on the right side and departs.
He shall answer for that winking with one eye at the last day.
Let him have day till then, and he'll wink with both his eyes.
Cockledemont, perceiving none in the room but the blind harpist, whose eyes having shut up from beholding wickedness, unclasps a window to the street very patiently, pockets up 3 bowls unnaturally, thrusts his wench forth the window, and himself most preposterously, with heels forward, follows. The unseeing harpist plays on. The waiter returns, but out, alas, not only the birds, but also the nest of goblets have flown away. Laments are raised.
Which did not pierce the heavens.
The waiters moan, mine host doth cry, the bowls are gone.
Finis priam. Nay, be not jaw fallen, my most sharky Mulligrub.
It's your just affliction. Remember, the sins of the cellar and repent.
I am not jawful, but I will hang the coney catching cottonboy, and there's an end.
Is that a true stone? It shows well by candlelight.
So do many things that are counterfeit, but this, I assure you, is a true diamond.
Might I borrow it of you? It will not a little grace my finger in visitation of my mistress.
Why? Use it. Most sweet Cacata, use it.
Thanks, good sir. Gentle sir, 'tis grown high night. Rest to you.
Sound wench, soft sleep, and sanguine dreams to you both.
Let me bid you good rest.
Not so. Trust me, I must bring my friend home. I dare not give you up to your own company. I fear the warmth of wine and youth will draw you to some common house of lascivious entertainment.
Oh, most necessary buildings, Mallory. Ever since my intention of marriage, I do pray for their continuance.
Not, sir, your reason.
Lest my house should be made into one. I would have married men love the brothels, as Englishmen love the Low Countries. Wished war should be maintained there, lest it should come home to their own doors. Youth and appetite are above the club of Hercules.
This lust is a most deadly sin, sure.
Nay, 'tis the most lively sin, sure.
Well, I'm sure 'tis one of the head
I'm
sins.
sure it's one of the middle sins.
Pity, 'tis grown a most daily vice.
It's more likely, thy sir, surely.
Well, 'tis a sin.
Or else few men would wish to go to heaven. And not to disguise with my friend, I'm now going the way of all.
Not to a courtesan.
A courteous.
Dear my loved friend, let me be full with you. No, sir, the strongest argument that speaks against the soul's eternity is lust, that wise man's folly and the fool's wisdom. But to grow wild in loose lasciviousness, given up to heat and sensual appetite, nay, to expose your health and strength and name and precious time, and with that time the hope of due preferment, to the stale use, the common bosom of a money creature, one that sells human flesh, a manganese.
Alas, good creatures, what would you have them do? Would you have them get their living by the curse of man, the sweat of their brows? So they do. Every man must follow his trade, and every woman her occupation. A poor, decayed mechanical man's wife. Her husband is laid up. May not she lawfully be laid down when her husband's only rising is by his wife's falling? A captain's wife lacks means. Her commander lies in open field abroad. May not she lie in civil arms at home? Do you know no alderman who would pity such a woman's case? Is charity grown a sin, or relieving the poor and impotent an offence? And wherein would they bestow their money better? In houses, they may be burned. In apparel, 'twill wear. In wine, alas for pity, our throats are but short. But employ your money upon women, and 1,000 to nothing. One of them will bestow that upon you, which shall stick by you as long as you live. They're an ungrateful person. They will give, quid for quo. Do you protest, they'll swear. Do you rise, they'll fall. Do you fall, they'll rise. You give them the French crown, they'll give you the French syphilis. Oh, Justus, you star, you stum. They sell their flesh. Do not better men sell their souls? And that's all things to be sold. Honour, justice, faith, nay, even God himself. I mean, what base ignobleness is it to sell the pleasures of a wanton bed? Why do men scrape? Why heap to full heaps join? But for his mistress, who would care for coin? For this I claim to be denied of no man. All things are made for man, and man for woman. Give me my key.
Of ill you merit well, my heart's good friend. Leave yet at length, for know this ever, 'tis no such sin to err, but to persever.
Beauty is woman's virtue, love the life's music, and woman the dainties or second course of heaven's curious workmanship. Since then, beauty, love, and woman are good, how can the love of woman's beauty be bad? Wilt then go with me?
With her?
To a house of salvation.
Salvation?
Aye. Will make thee repent. Wilt then go to the family of love? Good. I shall show you my creature. A pretty, nimble-eyed Dutch tannikin. An honest, soft-hearted, round-cheeked frau that has beauty enough for her virtue, virtue enough for a woman, and woman enough for any reasonable man in my knowledge. Wilt then pass along with me?
What? To a brothel, to behold an impudent prostitution fie on her. I shall hate the whole sex to see her. The most odious spectacle the earth can present is an immodest, vulgar woman.
Good still. My brain shall keep it. You must go as you love me.
Well, I'll go to make her loathe the shame she's in. The sight of vice augments the hate of sin.
Sight of vice augments the hate of sin. Very good, Perry. Come on.
Mary Fogg. Come, my worship. Rotten, rough-bellied board, huh? My blue-toothed patroness of natural wickedness. Give me the goblets.
By yea and by nay, Master Cuckold, I fear you'll play the maid and restore them.
No, by the Lord, aunt. Restitution's Catholic. Just hear my worshipful clisterpipe, thou ungodly fire that burnt Diana's temple. Dost hear? Bored.
In very good truthness, you are the foulest mad profane reigning brother. Call a woman the most ungodly name. In very good truthness, I must confess we all eat of the forbidden fruit, though for mine own part I am of the family of love, and as they say, a board that covers a multitude of sins. Yet I trust I am none of the wicked that eat fish on Fridays.
Hang toasts, my worshipful organ bellows that fills the pipes, my fine, rattling, phlegmy cough of the lungs. I rail at thee. What? My right precious Pandarus, supportress of barber surgeons, I rail at thee. Necessary damnation. I'll make an oration, I, in praise of thy most pleasurable function. I
prithee do. I love to hear myself praised as well as any old lady I.
List then, a board. First, for her profession or vocation. It is the most worshipful of all the 12 companies. For, whereas that trade or profession is most honourable that sells the best commodities, as the draper is more honourable than the point maker, the silkman more honourable than the draper, and the goldsmith more worshipful than both, so the board, above all, her shop has the best way. For, whereas these sell but silks, cloths, jewels, she sells divine virtues, as virginity, modesty, and such rare gems. And these, not like a petty chapman by retail, but like a great merchant by wholesale. Oh, again, whereas no trade or profession profiteth but by the loss or displeasure of another, as the lawyer profiteth but by the vexation of his client, the physician but by the maladies of his patient, only my smooth-gummed board lives by others' pleasure, and only grows rich by others' rising. Oh, merciful gain, oh, righteous income. So much for her vocation, trade, and life. As for her death, how can it be bad, since their wickedness is always before their eyes, and a death's head ring most commonly upon their middle finger? To conclude, 'tis most certain they needs must both live well and die well, since most commonly they live in Clerkenwell and die in Bridewell. Dixie, Mary.
Come on. Yonder's the preface, or exordium to my wench. The board. Fetch, fetch. What? Master Cuckold, boy. Your knave ship yet stirring? Oh, look to it. Mulligrub lies in wait for you.
The more fool he, I can lie for myself. Worshipful friend, hang toasts. I vanish.
But the vintner will toast you if he catch you.
I will draw the vintner to the stoop, and when he runs low, tilt him. My fine knave, art going to thy recreation?
Oh, yes. My capricious rascal.
Ah, thou look like a fool then, by and by.
Look like a fool? Why?
Why? Well, according to the old saying, a beggar, when he is lousing of himself, looks like a philosopher. A costive philosopher, when he is on the stool, looks like a tyrant. And a wise man, when he is in his belly act, looks like a fool. God give your worship good rest. Grace and mercy keep your syringe straight and your lotium unspilt.
Caesar, this is she.
This,
This.
a courtesan. Now cold blood defend me. What a proportion afflicts me.
Oh, mine old and leafless love, what shall we do to requite this, your much affection?
Salute my friend. Hug his neck and kiss him well.
Oh, mine arch sir, you've been most welcome.
Kiss her, man. With a more familiar affection. Come. What entertainment? Go, your music. And how dost approve my former love? She's none of your ramping cannibals that would devour men's flesh, nor any of your Courtesan gulfs that would never be satisfied until the best thing a man had be thrown into them. I loved her with my heart until my soul showed me the imperfection of my body and placed my affection in a lawful love, my modest Beatrice, which, if this short heels knew, there would be no being for me with eyes before her face. But dost thou not somewhat excuse my sometimes incontinency with her enforcing beauties? Speak.
She is a whore, is she not?
Whore? My whore. You may call her a courtesan, or a cockatrice, or as that worthy spirit of eternal happiness says, a suppository. But whore? Fie. 'Tis not in fashion to call things by their right name. Is a great merchant a cuckold, you must say he is one of the livery. The great lord a fool, you must say he is weak. Is a gallant potter, you must say he is the court scab. Come, she is your mistress also. I'm sorry, your voice?
Will not you stay in my bosom tonight, love?
By no means, sweet breast. This gentleman has vowed to see me chastely laid.
Well, he shall have a bed too, if that it please him.
Peace. Be tender of offence. He is one of the professed abstinence. Sour in your voice, and away.
The dark is my delight, so 'tis the nightingales. My music's in the night, so is the nightingales. My body is but little, so is the nightingales. I love to sleep against the prickle, so doth the nightingale.
Kiss. So, the night grows old. Good rest.
Rest to mine, dear love. Rest and no long absence.
Believe me, not long.
Shall I not believe you long?
Oh, yes. Come, veer away.
Is she unchaste? Can such a one be damned? Oh, love and beauty, ye two eldest seeds of the vast chaos, what strong right you have, even in things divine, our very souls.
Stand. Speak.
Our strumpets, then, such things so delicate. Can custom spoil what nature made so good? Or is their custom bad? Beauty's for use. I never saw a sweet face vicious. It might be proud, inconstant, wanton, nice, but never tainted with unnatural vice. Their worst is, their best art is love to win. Oh, that to love should be or shame or sin.
By the Lord is called laughter eternal.
Soul, I must love her. Destiny is weak to my affection, a common love. Blush not, faint breast, That which is ever loved the most is best. Let colder age the strongest objections move. No loves without some lust. No life without some love.
Now, come on, sir. What's this? The most odious spectacle the world can present? Be an immodest, vulgar woman. Yet, sir, for my sake...
Well, sir, for your sake, I'll think better of them.
Oh, do, good sir. And pardon me who brought you in. I mean, you must know, the sight of vice augments the hate of sin.
'Tis grown high night. Will you go home, sir?
With all my heart, sir. Only do not chide. I must confess...
For once a lover you have been.
Oh, that to love should be or shame or sin.
Say ye,
Let colder age the strongest objection move.
how's this?
No loves without some lust, no life without some love. Go your way for an apostate. I believe my cast garment must be let out at the seams for you when all is done. Of all the fools that would all man outthrust, he that against nature would seem wise is worst. The morn is yet but young. This is my Beatrice's window. This the chamber of my betrothed dearest, whose chaste eyes, full of loving sweetness and clear cheerfulness, have gauged my soul to her enjoyings, shredding away all weak underbranches of unfruitful heats and base affections. Here, bestow your music to my voice. Love, how strangely sweet are thy weak passions, that love and joy should be in self-same fashion, but who can tell the cause why they should move? But only this, no reason lost of love. Only this, no reason lost of love. Always a virtuous name, my chaste love.
Loved sir, the honour of your wish return to you. I cannot with a mistress compliment, forced discourses or nice art of wit give entertain to your dear wished presence. But safely thus, what hearty gratefulness, unsullen silence, unaffected modesty, and an unignorant shamefastness can express, receive as your protested due. Faith, my heart, I am your servant. Oh, let not my secure simplicity breed your mislike, as one quite void of skill. 'Tis grace enough in us not to be ill. I can some good, and faith I mean no hurt. Do not, then, sweet, wrong sober ignorance. I judge you all of virtue, and our vows should kill all fears that base distrust can move. My soul, what say you? Still you love?
Still. My vow is up above me, and like time, irrevocable. I am sworn all yours. No beauty shall untwine our arms, no face in my eyes can or shall seem fair. And would to God only you might seem only fair. Let others disesteem your matchless graces, so might I safer seem. Envy? I covet not. Far, far be all ostent, vain boasts of beauties, softer joys than the rest. He that is wise pants on a private breast. Your eyes shall be my joys, my wine that still shall drown my often cares. Your only voice shall cast a slumber on my listening sense. Only you shall make me wish to live and not fear death, so that on your cheeks I might yield latest breath. He that must they live and thus shall die may well be envied of the days.
Dear my loved heart, be not so passionate. Nothing extreme lives
But
long.
not to be extreme. No, nothing in love's extreme. My love receives no mean.
I give you faith. And prithee, since poor soul I am so easy to believe thee, make it much more pity to deceive me. Wear this slight favour in my remembrance.
Which when I part from, hope, the best of life, ever part from me.
I take you and your word, which may ever live your servant. See, day is quite broke up. The best of hours.
Good morrow, graceful mistress. Our nuptial day holds.
With happy constancy, a wished day.
Myself and all content rest with you.
The studious morn, with paler cheek, draws on the day's bold light. Hark, how the free-born birds carol their unaffected passions. Now sing they sonnets. Thus they cry, we love. Oh, breath of heaven. Thus they, harmless songs, give entertain to mutual effects. They have no bores, no mercenary beds, no faint dissemblings. No custom makes them blush, no shame afflicts their name. Oh, you happy beasts, in whom an inborn heat is not held sin, how far transcend you, wretched, wretched man, whom national custom, tyrannous respect of slavish orders fetters, lames his power, calling that sin in us, which in all things else is nature's highest virtue. Sure, nature against virtue cross doth fall. All virtue's self is oft unnatural. That I should love a strumpet, I, a man of snow, now shame forsake me. Whither am I fallen? A creature of a public use. My friends love too. To live, to be a talk to men. A shame to my professed virtue. Oh, accursed reason. How many eyes hast thou to see thy shame? Yet how blind once to prevent the fame.
Diabolis virtus in lombus est. The devil's strength lies in our loins. Come, my friend. Come, I could make a tedious scene of this now. But what? Thou art in love with a courtesan. Why, sir, should we loathe all strumpets? Some men should hate their mothers and sisters. A sin against nature, I can tell you.
May it beseem a wise man to be in love.
Oh, let wise men alone. 'Twill beseem thee and me well enough.
Oh, shall I not offend the vowed land of our friendship?
What? To effect that which thy friend effected? By heaven, I resign her freely. The creature and I must grow off. By now, she has assuredly heard of my second love, and vows, God's sacrament, 10,000 devils. Ooh. I resign her of faith.
I would but embrace her, hear her speak, and at the most but kiss her.
Oh, sir. He that would live on the smoke of roast meat might live at a cheap rate.
I shall ne'er prove heartily received. A kind of flat, ungracious modesty, an insufficient dullness stains my haviour.
No matter, sir. Insufficiency and sottishness are much commendable, and a most discommendable action. Now could I swallow thee. Thou hast won't be so harsh and cold, I'll tell thee. Hell and the prodigies of angry Jove are not so fearful to a thinking mind as a man without affection. Why, sir, philosophy and nature are all one. Love is the close that bonds the common bond of being.
But a chaste reserved privateness, a modest continence.
I'll tell thee what. Take this as firmest says. Incontinence will force a continence. Heat wasteth heat. Light defaceth light. Nothing is spoiled but by his proper might. This is something too weighty for thy flow.
But howsoe'er you shade it, the world's eye shines hot and open on it. That lying, malice, envy are held but slidings, errors of rage, when custom and the world calls lust a crime spotted with the blackest terror.
Where errors are held crimes, crimes are but errors. Along, sir. To her. She is an arrant strumpet, and a strumpet is a serpigo. Venomed gonorrhea to a man. Things actually possessed. Oh, yet since I was in love. Again, as good make use of a statue. A body without a soul. A carcass. 3 months dead. Ugh. Yet since I was in love.
Deathman, my destiny I cannot choose.
Nay, I think so. Again, they sell only flesh, no jot of affection, so that even in the enjoying, you'll think they're made of marble. Yet since you needs must love...
Unavoidable, though folly worse than madness.
It's true. But since you needs must love, you must know this. A fool must love, and he must kiss. What? Master Cockledemoy, ut valis domine?
Ago tibi gratias, my worshipful friend. How dost your friend?
Out, you rascal.
Hang toasts? My fine boy, you are an ass. Much of your worship's brains lies in your calves. Bread of God, boy, I was at supper last night with a wench. One frank frailty, a whore, an honest polecat, of a sound leg, smooth thigh, and the nimble devil in her buttock. Fist of grace. When saw you Tysophue, or Master Cacater, that prattling gallant
Away.
of a good draught, fortunate impudence and sound fart?
Away, rogue!
Hang toasts. My fine boy, my companions are worshipful.
Farewell, knave. Beware the mulligrubs.
Let the mulligrubs beware the name. Quamquam te mace fili. Yes, my fine boy.
Does your worship want a barber surgeon?
What? A barber surgeon?
Yes, sir, an apprentice to surgery.
It is my beautiful boy. To what bawdy house does thy master belong? What's thy name?
Holofernes loins cure.
Loins cure. Good Master Holofernes, I desire your further acquaintance. Oh, nay. Pray, be covered. Kill thy itch and heal thy scabs. Is thy master rotten?
My father, forsooth, is dead.
Ah, and laid in his grave. Alas, what comfort shall Peggy, his wife, then have?
None but me, sir. I am my mother's son, I assure you.
Mother's son! A good, witty boy. And to whom are you going now?
To trim Master Mulligrub, the vintner.
Do you know Master Mulligrub?
He's my godfather, sir.
Good boy. Hold up thy chops. I pray you, do one thing for me. My name is Gudger.
Good Master Gudgeon.
Lend me thy basin, razor, and apron.
Oh, Lord,
Well
sir.
spoken. Good English. But what's thy furniture worth?
Oh, Lord, sir, I know not.
Well spoken, a boy of good wit. Hold this pawn. Where dost dwell?
At the sign of the three razors, sir.
Ah, a sign of good shaving, my catastrophonical fine boy. I have an odd jest to trim Master Mulligrub for a wager.
Oh, Lord, sir.
A jest, boy, a humour. I'll return thy things presently. Hold.
What mean you, good Master Gudgeon?
Nothing, faith, but a jest. Drink that. I'll recoil presently.
And you'll not be gone long.
As I am an honest man. The three razors?
Aye, sir.
Good. If I shave not Mulligrub, my wit has no edge, and I may go cack in my pewter. Let me see. A barber. My scurvy tongue will dissemble me, must disguise, must dissemble. For my tongue, Spanish, Dutch, Welsh. No, a northern barber. Very well, widow loins cures man, newly entertained, right, so, and toasts. All cards have white backs, and all knaves would appear to have white breasts. So, proceed now, worshipful Cuckold.
To be married. True, he does cast you off. Right, he will leave you to the world, and what then? Though blue and white, black and green leave you, may not red and yellow entertain you. Is there but one colour in the rainbow? The Neapolitan bone ache on your sentences! God's sacrament, 10,000 devils take you! You have brought my love, my honour, my body, all to nothing! To nothing! I'll be sworn I have brought them to all the things I could. I have made as much of your maidenhead. If you had been mine own daughter, I could not have sold your maidenhead oftener than I have done. I've sworn for you, God forgive me. I have made you acquainted with the Spaniard Don Skirter, the Italian Master Biaroni, with the Irish Lord Sir Patrick, and with the Dutch merchant Hans Herken Gluckham Skellum Flapdragon. And now, lastly, with this English, yet in my conscience an honest gentleman, and now I have one of the accursed, with you for my neighbour. Is this my reward? Am I called bored? Well, Mary Fock, go thy ways, Mary Fock, thy kind heart will bring thee to a hospital.
Nay, good not. You will help me to another love, will you not?
Out, thou naughty belly. Wouldst thou make me thy board? Thou wouldst best make me thy board. I have kept counsel for thee. Who paid the apothecary? Was not honest Mary Fock. Who redeemed thy petticoat and mantle? Was not honest Mary Fock. Who helped thee to thy custom, not of swaggering island captains, nor 2 shilling inns of court men, but with honest flat caps, wealthy flat caps, that pay for their pleasure the best of any men in Europe, nay, which is more, in London. And dost thou defy me, vile creature?
Outre upon you, witch, bored polecat. Did you not praise Freeville to my love?
Oh, I did praise, I confess, I did praise him. I said he was a fool, an unthrift, a true whoremaster, I confess, a constant drag keeper, I confess. But what? The wind is turned.
It is. Vile woman, reprobate woman, evil woman, it is. What shall become of my poor flesh now? My body must turn Turk for tuppence life of mine aunt. I shall be revenged, though 10,000 hells damn me, I shall have the rogue's throat cut, and his love, and his friend, and all his affinity shall smart, shall die, shall hang. No, St. Anthony's fire, and the hot Neapolitan pox, rot him!
Francestina?
Oh, my sweet, my dearest, kindest, my love, my 1,000, 10,000 delicate, pretty sweetheart. Oh, mine all the liefest affection.
Why, monkey? No fashion in you. Give entertainment to my friend.
I shall make the most of you that courtesy may. Mein maître sing non other song, frolic, frolic, sir, and still complain we do her wrong. Lighten your heart, sir. For me did but kiss her, for me did but kiss her, and so let go. For me did but kiss her, for me did but kiss her, and so let go. Your friend is very heavy. I shall never like such sad company.
No? Oh, thou delightest only in light company.
By my troth, he been very sad. What ail you, sir?
Oh, toothache, lady. A paltry room.
The diet is very good for you.
How far off dwells the house surgeon, Mary Fox?
You are such a profane fellow. I' faith, I little thought to hear such ungodly terms come from your lips.
Prithee now. 'Tis but a toy, a very trifle.
I care not for the value, Frank, but
If faith, me must needs have it. This is Beatrice's ring. Sweet, prithee now, as ever you have embraced me with a warm thought or pleasing touch, as ever you do profess to love me, as ever you do wish me life, just give me this ring, this little ring.
Prithee be not uncivilly importunate. Shall not have it, i' faith. I care not for thee, nor thy jealousy. Shall not have it, i' faith.
You do not love me. I hear of Sir Hubert Savoy's daughter, Mistress Beatrice. God's sacrament, I could scratch out her eyes and suck the holes.
Oh, go. You're grown a punk, rampant.
So get thee gone. Never more behold mine eyes by thee made wretched.
Mary Fox, farewell. Farewell.
Shall I not have the ring?
No, by the law.
By the law?
By the law.
Oh, go to your new blouse, your unproved sluttery, your modest mistress, forsooth.
Well, marry will I, forsooth.
Will you marry, forsooth?
Do not turn witch before thy time. Your wishes to...
The gods themselves cannot be wise and love. Beauty, entirely choice.
Pray you, prove a man of fashion and neglect the neglected.
Can such a rarity be neglected? Can there be measure or sin in loving such a creature?
Oh, my poor forsaken heart.
I cannot contain. Who saw thee not that left thee? If there be reason, wisdom, honour, grace, or any other foolishly esteemed virtue in giving her possession of such beauty, let me be vicious, so I may be loved. Passion, I am thy slave, sweet. It shall be my grace that I account thy love my only virtue. Shall I swear I am thy most vowed servant?
Mine found. Go. Go, go. I can no more of love. No. No, no, you've been all unconstant. Oh, unfaithful men, tyrants, betrayers, the very enjoying us, looseth us, and when you only have made us hateful, you only hate us. Oh, my poor forsaken heart.
I must not rave. Silence and modesty, two customary virtues. Will you be my mistress?
Mistress?
Will you lie with me?
Lie with you? Oh, no. No, you men will outlie any woman. Faith, me no more can love.
No matter. Let me enjoy your bed.
Fine man. What do you think on me? Do you take me to be a beast, sense only will entertain love, and not only for love, love. Oh, brutish abomination.
Then, I pray thee love, and with thy love enjoy me.
Give me reason to affect you. Will you swear you love me?
So seriously that I protest. No offer so dangerous, no deed so unreasonable, no cost so heavy, that I vow, to the utmost temptation of my best being, to effect it.
Shall I, or can I trust again? Fool, how natural 'tis for us to be abused. Shall I be sure that no satiety, not time to languish your affection?
If there be aught in brain, heart, or hand can make you doubtless, I am your vowed servant.
Will you do one thing for me?
Can I do it?
Yes. Yes. But I do not love this same Freeville.
Well,
Nay, I do hate him.
so?
By this kiss, I hate him.
I love to fill such oaths. Swear again.
No. Did you ever hear of any that laughed at first sight?
Most proper.
Now, faith, I judged it all incredible, until this hour I saw you. Pretty fair-eyed youth. Would you enjoy me?
Rather than my breath, even as my being.
Oh, had I not made her vow?
What vow?
Let me forget it. It makes us both despair.
Dear soul, what vow?
Sweet. Good morrow, gentle sir. Endeavour to forget me, as I must be enforced to forget all men. Sweet mind, rest in you.
Stay. Let not my desire burst me. My impatient heat endures no resistance, no protraction. There is no being for me but your sudden enjoying.
I do not love Freeville.
But what vow? What vow?
So long as Freeville lives, I cannot love.
Then he
must
die.
I. No. There's no such vehemence in your effects. Would I were anything, so he were not.
Will you be mine when he is not?
Will I? Dear, dear breast, by this most zealous kiss. But I'll not set you on. Yet, if you do hate him that I loathe most deadly, yet as you please, I'll persuade nothing.
Will you be only mine?
Will I? How hard 'tis for true love to dissemble. I am only yours.
It is as irrevocable as breath. He dies. Your love.
My vow, which that I may be sure not to infringe. This token of death shall satisfy. He has a ring, as dear as heir to him, his new love's gift. That got and brought to me, I shall assure it your professed rest.
To kill a man.
Done safely. A quarrel, sudden picked, with an advantage strike. Then bribe, a little coin, all safe, dear soul. But I'll not set you on.
Nay. Nay. He is gone. The ring. Well, come, little more liberal of thy love.
Not yet. My vow.
Heaven. There is no hell but love's prolongings. Dear, farewell.
Farewell. Now does my heart swell high, for my revenge has birth and form. First friend shall kill his friend. He that survives I'll hang. Besides, the chaste Beatrice I'll vex. Only the ring, that got and brought to me, the world shall know the worst of evils. Women corrupted is the worst of devils.
To kill my friend. 'Tis to kill myself. Yet, man's but man's excrement. Man breeding man as he does worms or this. To spoil this, nothing. The body of a man is of the selfsame soul as ox or horse. No murder to kill these. As for that only part which makes us man, murder wants power to touch it. Oh, wit! How vile, how hellish art thou, and thou raises nature against sacred faith. Think more. To kill a friend, to gain a woman, to lose a virtuous self, for appetite and sensual end, whose very having loseth all appetite and gives satiety. That corporal end, remorse and inward blushings, forcing us loathe the steam of our own heats, whilst friendship, closed in virtue, being spiritual, tastes no such languishings, and moments pleasure with much repentance. Lord, how I was misgod. How easy 'tis to err, when passion will not give us leave to think, learn, that is, an honest man may lust and rage and malice and anything, when he is taken uncollected suddenly. 'Tis sin of cold blood, mischief with waked eyes that is the damning, and the truly vice. Not he that's passionless, but he above passions wise. My friend shall know it all.
It is right, I assure you, just £500.
Well, Cuckold, it is thou puts me to this charge, but if I catch thee, I'll charge thee with as many irons. Is the barber come?
Yes.
I'll be trimmed, not a cheap side, to buy a fair piece of plate to help furnish the loss. Is the barber come?
Yes, indeed, dear. Truth, husband, surely heaven is not pleased with our vocation. We do wink at the sins of our people. Our wines are Protestant. And I speak it to my grief and to the burden of my conscience. We fry our fish with salt butter.
Go. Look to your business, mend the matter, for the bill's false with a vengeance. Welcome, friend. Who's man?
Widow Loinscure's man, if it shall please your
The
good
barber.
worship. My name is Andrew Sharp.
How does my Courtesan get over?
Oh, very well, sir. Oh, he's gone to trim Master Quickwit, our parson. Hold up your head.
How long have you been a barber, Andrew?
Not long, sir. This 2 year.
What? And a good workman already. I dare scarce trust my head to thee.
Oh, fear not, sir. We have polled better men than you. We learn the trade very quickly. Now, will your worship be shaven or cut?
As you will, good Andrew. What trade did you live by before thou turned to barber, Andrew?
I was a peddler in Germany, but my countrymen thrive better by this trade.
And what news thou art sometimes at court?
Sometimes pull a page or two, sir.
What news? How do all my good lords and all my good ladies and all the rest of my acquaintance?
What an arrogant knave's this? I'll acquaintance ye. 'Tis cash. Say, sir.
What news? What news, good Andrew?
Oh, marry, sir, do you know the conduit at Greenwich and the underholes that spouts up water?
Very well. I was washed there one day, and so was my wife. You might have wrung her smock.
Oh, thus, sir, out of those holes, in the midst of the night, crawled out 24 huge, horrible, monstrous, fearful, devouring serpents. Which serpents, no sooner were they beheld, but they turned to mastiffs, which howled. Those mastiffs in an instant were turned to cocks, which crowed. Those cocks in a moment were turned to bears, which roared. Which bears are even now to be seen in Paris gardens, living upon nothing but toasted cheese and green onions.
By the Lord, this may be. My wife and I will go and see them. This portends something.
Aye, aye. Worshipful fart, thou'lt feel what it pretends by and by.
Well, what more news? You shave the world, you barber surgeons. You are cunning privy searchers. By the mass, you scour all. What more news?
Well, they say, sir, there are 25 couple of Spanish ponies to be seen, dancing hand in hand, whilst 6 goodly Flanders mares play to them on flutes.
Oh, monstrous! This is a lie on my word. Nay, if this be not a lie, I am no fool, I warrant.
Shut your eyes, sir, wink sure. This ball will make you smart.
Do wink.
Your worship's head will catch cold. I will go and put on your good lord's nightcap whilst I shave you. So and toast. Foch. Via. Sparrows must peck, and cockledemoy munch.
25 couple of Spanish ponies dancing. Andrew makes my worship laugh if they mistake me for an ass, Andrew. There's no one cockledemoy in town. He made me an ass last night, but I'll ass him. Art thou free, Andrew? Shave me well. I shall be one of the Common Council shortly, and then Andrew. Andrew? Just leave me in the suds. Andrew, I shall be blind with winking. Andrew? Andrew? What means this? Why?
What's the noise with you? What ails you?
Where's the barber?
Gone. I saw him depart long since. Why, are you not trimmed?
Trimmed? Wife, I am shaved. Did you take hence the money?
Touched it not, as I am religious.
Lord, I have winked fair.
I pray, Godfather, give me your blessing.
Holofernes, where's thy mother's Andrew?
Blessing,
Oh,
Godfather.
devil choke thee! Where's Andrew, thy mother's man?
My mother hath done something to say.
My money! Plague of all Andrews. Who was't trimmed me?
I know not, Godfather. Only one met me as I was coming to you, and borrowed my furniture, as he said, for a jest's sake.
What kind of a fellow?
A thick stub-beard fellow.
Cockle-de-moy. Raise all the wise men in the street. I'll hang him with mine own hands. Wife! Some rose of solace!
Good husband, take comfort in the Lord. I'll play the devil, but I'll recover the money. Have a good conscience. It's but a week's cheating in the term.
Wife. Jack! How does thy mother? Is there any fiddlers in the house?
Yes, Master Courtesan.
Bid them play. Laugh! Make merry! Cast up my accounts, for I'll hang myself presently. I will not a curse, but a pox on Cockle-de-moy. He has pulled and trimmed me. He has shamed me. He has shamed me.
Shalt have it, good nurse. Purest lips, soft banks of blisses, self alone, deserving...
Pish, Sister Beatrice, pretty read no more. My stomach plate stands against kissing extremely.
Why, good Crispinella?
'Tis grown one of the most unpleasing customs to ladies. Any man that has but one nose on his face must salute us on the lips so familiarly. There was a stub-bearded John of Style saluting me last day and struck his bristles through my lips. I have spent 10 shillings in Pompton since to skin them again. Marry, if a nobleman or a knight visit us, though his unclean, goose-turd green teeth have the palsy, his nostrils smell worse than a putrefied marrowbone, yet we must kiss him, with a curtsy. For my part, I had as lief they would break wind in my lips.
Fight, Crispinella, you speak too broad.
Oh, no jot, sister. Let's ne'er be ashamed to speak what we be not ashamed to think. I dare as boldly speak lechery as think lechery.
Faith, Crispinella, I'll be gone if you speak so broad.
Will you so? Now bashfulness sees you. We pronounce boldly robbery, murder, treason, which deeds must needs be far more loathsome than an act which is so natural and necessary as that of procreation. You shall have a hypocritical Vestal Virgin speak that with close teeth publicly, which you will receive with open mouth privately. For my own part, I consider nature without apparel, without disguising a custom or compliment. I give thoughts words, and words truth, and truth boldness. She whose honest freeness makes it her virtue to speak what she thinks will make it her necessity to think what is good.
Good, quick, sister, stay your pace. We are private, but the world would censor you for truly severe modesty is women's virtue.
Oh, fie. Virtue is a free, pleasant, buxom quality. I love a constant countenance well, but this froward, ignorant coyness that promises nothing but rough skin and hard stools, half iron it, good for nothing, but for nothing. Well, nurse, and what do you conceive of all this?
Nay, faith, my conceiving days be done. Marry for kissing, I'll defend that. That's within my compass. But for my own part, here's Mistress Beatrice is to be married, with the grace of God. He's a fine gentleman shall have her, and I warrant is strong. He has a leg like a post, a nose like a lion, a brow like a bull, and a beard of most fair expectation. This week you must marry him, and I now will read a lecture to you both, how you should behave yourselves to your husbands the first month of your nuptial. I have broke my skull about it, I can tell you, and there's much brain in it.
Read it to my sister, good nurse, for I assure you I'll never marry.
Marry? God forbid! What will you do then?
Faith strive against the flesh. Marry? No faith. Husbands are like lots in the lottery. You may draw 40 blanks before you find one that has any prize in them. A husband generally is a domineering thing,
that grows like coral, which, as long as it is underwater, is soft and tender, but as soon as it has got its branch above the waves, is presently hard, stiff, not to be bowed, but burst. So when your husband is a suitor and under your choice, Lord, how supple he is, how obsequious, how at your service, sweet lady. Once married, a stiff, crooked, knobby, tyrannous, inflexible creature he grows. Then they turn, like water. The more you would embrace, the less you hold. I'll live my own woman, and if the worst comes to the worst, I had rather prove a witch than a fool.
Oh, but a virtuous marriage.
Virtuous marriage. Sister, there is no more affinity betwixt virtue and marriage than betwixt a man and his horse. But thy marriage, by my troth, I think 'twill do well. He's a well-shaped, clean-lipped gentleman, of a good faithful eye, and a well-humoured cheek. Would he did not stoop in the shoulders for thy sake. See, here he is.
Good day, sweet.
Good morrow, brother. No, you shall have my lip. Good morrow, servant.
Good morrow, sweet life.
Life? Just call thy mistress Life.
Life. Yes, why not life?
How many mistresses hast thou?
Some 9.
Well, then thou hast 9 lives, like a cat.
Meow. You would be taken up for that.
Oh, nay, let me sit still. We short statures love still to sit, lest when we stand we may be supposed to sit.
It does not wear high cork shoes, chopines.
Oh, monstrous ones. I am, as many others are, pieced above and pieced beneath.
Well, still the best part in the middle. By the Lord, I thought 'twas for something Mistress Joyce jested at thy high insteps.
Oh, she might well enough, and long enough, before I would be ashamed of my shortness. What I made or commend myself, I may blush at, but what nature put upon me, let her be ashamed for me. I have nothing to do with it. I forget my beauty.
Faith. Joyce is a foolish, bitter creature.
A pretty mildewed wench she is.
And fair.
As myself?
Oh, you forget your beauty now.
Troth, I never remember my beauty, but as some men do religion, for controversy's sake.
Emotion, sister. My love here.
Oh, really call him not love, 'tis the hall's phrase. But, nor sweet honey, nor my coney, nor dear duckling, 'tis a citizen's terms. But call me him
What?
anything. What's the motion?
You know this night our parents have intended solemnly to contract us, and my love, to grace the feast, hath promised a mask.
You'll make one ties for you, and Cacketer will fill up a room.
For heaven well remembered. He borrowed a diamond of me last night to grace his finger in your visitation. The lying creature will swear some strange thing on it now.
Peace, he's here. Stand close, love.
Good morrow, most dear, and worthy to be most wise. How does my mistress?
Morrow, sweet servant. You glister. Prithee, let's see that stone.
Oh, a trifle, lady, I bought to please my finger.
Well, I am more precious to you than your finger.
Yes. More than all my body, I swear.
Well, then let it be bought to please me. Well, come, I'm no professed beggar.
Troth, mistress. Zoons. Forsooth. I protest.
Nay, if you don't protest for such a trifle.
Good deed, Lara. Another time I'll
Is
give
this
you a
yours to give?
Oh, God. Mine, quoth you.
Nay, as for that, we...
I remember I have seen this on my servant Tarsifu's finger.
Such another.
Nay, I'm sure this is it.
Troth. 'Tis mistress. The poor fellow lacked money to pay for supper last night, and so pawned it to me.
Hark ye! Thou base, lying. How dares thy impudence hope to prosper? Were it not for the privilege of this respected company, I would so bang thee!
Come here, the servant. What's the matter betwixt you two?
Nothing, but hark you, he did me some uncivil discourtesies last night, for which, because I should not call him to account, he desires to make me any satisfaction. The coward trembles at my very presence, but I have him on the hip. I'll take the forfeit on his ring.
What's that you whisper to her?
Well, nothing, sir, nothing. Save her that the ring was not pawned, but merely lent by you in order to grace my finger, and so told her I craved pardon for being too familiar with your reputation.
Indeed, he did. He said he desired to make you any satisfaction for an uncivil discourtesy you did him last night. But he said he had you on the hip and would take the forfeit of your ring.
Oh, now, you base poultry.
Oh, my mistress speaks by contrary.
Contrary.
Jest, faith, only jest.
Sir, I'll know more of your service. You are a child. I'll give you to my nurse.
If you come to me, I can tell you as old as I am what to do with him.
I offer my services, forsooth.
Why so? Now every dog has his bone to gnaw on.
The mask holds, Master Cacketer.
I am ready, sir.
Mind the provision for this night is ours. Much must be our care. Tonight we leave you. Good, wrong we not. My most fault is much trust.
Until night only, my heart be with you. Farewell, sister.
Adieu, brother. Come on, sister, for these sweetmeats.
Let's meet and practice present.
Content. Come, you pernicious vermin.
My friend, wished hours. What news from Babylon? How does the woman of sin and natural concupiscence?
The eldest child of nature ne'er beheld so damned a creature.
Which way bears the tide?
I find a mind courageously vicious may put on a desperate security, but can never be enjoyed with a firm enjoying and self-satisfaction.
What news is this, my dear Linda Bryce?
'Tis well. We both may jest. I have been tempted to your death.
What? Has the rampant cockatrice grown mad for the loss of her man?
Devilishly mad.
As most assured of her second love.
Right.
She would have had this ring.
Ah, and this heart, for which deed I would possess her sweetness.
Oh, bloody villainous. Nothing is defamed but by his proper self. You have vowed my death.
My lust, not I, before my reason would. Yet I must use her. That I, a man of sense, should conceive endless pleasure in a body whose soul I know to be so hideously black.
That a man at 23 should cry out, "Oh, sweet pleasure," and at 43 should sigh, "Oh, sharp pox." But consider a man furnished with omnipotency, and you overthrow him. Thou must cool thy impatient appetite. 'Tis fate, 'tis fate.
I do malign my creation that I am subject to passion. I must enjoy her.
I have it. Mark. I give a mask tonight to my love's kindred. In that, we two make show of falling out, give seeming challenge, instantly depart, with some suspicion to sudden fight. Then, after meeting, this ring only lent, I'll lurk in some obscure place, till rumour hath feigned me slain, which in respect myself will not be found, and our late seeming quarrel will sound to all as earnest truth. Then to thy wench, protest me surely dead. Show this ring, enjoy her, and, blood cool, we'll laugh at folly.
Oh, but think of it.
Think of it. Come away. Virtue, let sleep thy passions. What old times held as crimes are now but fashions.
I'm not at this time furnished, but
Here's my bond for your plate.
your bill had been sufficient. You're a wealthy man. A standing cup parcel gilt of 32 ounces. £450, the 1st of July. Good plate, good man, good day, good all.
Nay, 'tis my hard fortune. I will hang the maid. No,
First he shall half rot in fetters in the dungeon, his conscience made despairful. I shall hire a knave of purpose to assure him he is damned, and after see him hanged without singing any psalm. Lord, that he has but one neck.
You are too tyrannous. You'll use me no further.
No, lend your servant only to carry the plate home, on occasion of an hour's absence.
With easy consent, sir. Haste! Be careful.
Be very careful. My wife's own hand.
Secure yourself, sir.
To her own hand.
Fear not. I have delivered greater things than this to a woman's own hand.
Monsieur, will it please you to buy a delicate fine bowl, a camphor bowl, or a scouring bowl, a bowl to be shaved?
For the love of God, call not a shaving! I have been shaved! Mischief and 1,000 devils seize him! I have been shaved!
The fox grows fat when he is cursed. I'll shave ye smoother yet, turd on a tile stone. My lips have a kind of rheum at his bowl. I'll have it. I'll gargleize my throat with this vintner, and when I have done, spit him out. I'll shark. Conscience does not repine. Were I to bite an honest gentleman, I were damned beyond the works of supererogation. But to wring the withers of my gouty, balm, spigot-frigging jumbler of elements, mother grub, I hold it as lawful as sheep shearing. And so, worshipful Cuckold, on in grace and virtue to proceed. Only beware. Beware scaffolds. There be steps in the ladder and knots in a noose. Hang toasts! I must draw a lot for the great goblet.
I acknowledge the receipt. I acknowledge the receipt. Short is very well spoken. I acknowledge the receipt. Thus 'tis to have good education and to be brought up in a tavern. I do keep as gallant and as good company as any she in London. Nay, though my husband be a citizen, yet I have wit and can see my good as soon as another, for I have all the thanks. My silly husband, alas, he knows nothing of it. 'Tis I that bear a brain for all.
Fair hour to you, mistress.
Fair hour. Fine term. I'll score it up anon. A beautiful thought to you, sir.
Your husband and my master, Master Burnish, has sent you this jowl of fresh salmon. Oh. And both will come to dinner tonight to season your new bowl with the best wine.
Here, today.
Which cup your husband entreats you to send back by me, so that his arms might be graved on the side, which he forgot before it was sent before.
By what token? Are you sent by no token? Nay, I have wit.
He sent me by the same token that he was dry-shaved this morning.
A sad token, but true. Here, sir. I pray, commend me to your master, but especially to your mistress. Tell them they shall be most sincerely welcome.
Oh, most sincerely welcome. Worshipful Cuckold, lurk close. Hang toasts! Be not ashamed of thy quality. Every man's turd smells well in his own nose. Vanish, foist!
Well, come, spread these napkins. Do you hear? Perfume. This parlour does so smell of profane tobacco. Well, I can never endure this ungodly tobacco, since one of our elders assured me tobacco was not used in the congregation of the family of love. Spread handsomely. Lord servants do things arsey-versey. You show your bringing up. I was a gentlewoman by my sister's side. I can tell you so methodically. I wonder where I got that word. Oh, sir, Aminadab, Ruth bade me kiss him methodically. I had it somewhere. I had it indeed from him.
Mind, be not desperate. I'll recover all. All things with me shall seem honest that can be profitable. You must know wits that would or thrive or save to be called niggard, cuckold, cutthroat, knave.
Are they come, husband?
Who? What?
How now? What feast towards in my private parlour?
Pray leave your foolery. What are they come?
Come? Who come?
You need not think it so strange.
Strange!
Aye, strange. You know no man that sent me word that he and his wife would come to dinner to me, and sent this jowl of fresh salmon beforehand.
Yes, not I. The messenger hath mistaken the house. Let's eat quickly before it be inquired for. Sit to it. Some vinegar, quick. Some good luck yet. I never tasted salmon relish better. When a man feeds at other men's cost.
Other men's cost? Why, did you not send this jar of salmon?
No.
By Master Burnish's man?
No.
Sending me word that he and his wife would come to dinner to me.
No, no.
To season my new bowl.
Bowl?
And willed me to send the bowl back.
Back.
So that you might have your arms graved on the side.
Oh.
By the same token, you were dry-shaven this morning before you went forth.
How this salmon stinks.
Well, thereupon sent the bowl back, prepared dinner.
Wife, do not vex me! Is the bowl gone? Is it delivered?
Yes, sure, 'tis delivered.
I will never more say my prayers. Is it gone?
Gone? God is my witness. I delivered it with no more intention to be cozened of it than the child newborn and...
Look to my house. I am haunted with evil spirits. Hear me, do hear me. If I have not my goblet again, heaven, I'll to the devil, I'll to a conjurer. Look to my house, I'll raise all the wise men in the street.
Deliver us! What words are these? I trust in God. He is but drunk, sure.
I must have the salmon too. Now, worshipful Cuckold, for thy masterpiece, God protect my neckpiece and futra. Fair mistress,
I caught you! What?
Yes, fair mistress, I'll tell you all. A jest, a very jest. Your husband only took sport to fright you. The bowl is at my master's, and there is your husband, who sent me in all haste, lest you should be over-frighted with his fame, to come to dinner to him.
Well, praise heaven, it is no worse.
And desired me to desire you to send the jowl of salmon before, and yourself to come after. My mistress would be right glad to see you.
I pray, carry it. Pray thank them entirely. Bless me! I was never so out of my skin in my life.
Oh.
Pray thank your mistress. Most entirely.
Most entirely. So now, Figo, worshipful Mary Fock and I will munch. Cheetahs and balds go together like washing and wringing.
Beshrew his heart for his labour. Oh, everything about me quivers. Christiana, my hat and coat. How I tremble. So I'll gossip it now for it, that's certain. Here has been false fires indeed.
Whither now? What's the matter with you now? Whither are you gadding?
Come, play the fool no more. Will you go?
Whither? In the rank name of madness, whither?
Whither? Why, to Master Burnishes to eat the jowl of salmon. Lord, how strange you make it.
Oh, why so?
Why so? Why, did you not send the self-same fellow for the jowl of salmon that had the cup?
'Tis well. 'Tis very well.
And will me to come and eat it with you at the goldsmith's?
Are they thy wits?
Sit down here! Make a fool of somebody else. If you make an ass of me, I'll crown you with cuckolds on. Do you see?
Wife, be patient, for look you, I may be mad or drunk, or so, for my own part, though you can bear more than I, yet I can do well. Not curse, nor cry, but heaven knows what I think. I will never more say my prayers. If heaven forget to prosper names, I'll go no more to church.
Welcome, Sir Lionel Freeville, Brother Freeville's
Reverend and honourable matrimony,
mother of lawful sweets, unshamed mornings, dangerous pleasures.
Thou that makes the bed both pleasant and legitimately fruitful.
Well, without thee, all the whole world was soiled bastard.
It is the only and the greatest form that puts a difference between our desires and the disordered appetites of beasts.
Love is the shining star of blessing's light. Love is true virtue, and his end's delight. A betrothal gift, my love.
My love, I cannot say your eyes did my unwary heart surprise. Nor will I swear it was your face, your shape, or any nameless grace. For you are so entirely fair to love apart in justice world. You are so entirely fair to love apart in justice world. No drowning man can know which drop of water his last breath did stop. Cupid, that lover, weakly strikes. Who can express what 'tis he likes? For you are so entirely fair to love apart in justice world. You are so entirely fair to love apart in justice world.
Let this bright morning merrily be crowned with dances, banquets, and sweet music sound.
No, sir. I have the advantage of the place. You are not safe. I would deal even with you.
I do beseech you, sweet, do not for me provoke your fortune.
What son of glory is risen?
From whence comes this?
And also a long time lurking now.
Good sir, the time and your designs are peaceful.
I dear sir, counsel him. Advise him to relish well from your carving. Good my sweet, rest safe.
All's well, all's well. All should be ended straight.
The banquet waits. There will the discourse more large.
Marriage must not make men cowards.
Nor rage fools.
'Tis valour not to wear heat.
Reason rules.
Do you hear, lady, you proud ape, you? What was the jest you broke of me even now?
Nothing. I only said you were all metal. That you had a brazen face, a leaden brain, and a cocked beard.
Quicksilver? Thou little more than a dwarf and something less than a woman.
A wisp, a wisp, a wisp. Will you go to the banquet?
By the Lord, I think thou wilt marry shortly too. Thou growest somewhat foolish already.
Oh, 'tis a fair thing to be married. And a necessary. To hear this word, must. If our husbands be proud, we must bear his contempt. If noisome, we must deal with the goat under his armholes. If a fool, we must bear his babble. And which is worse, if a libertine, we must live upon what he brings home. Whereas on the contrary side, our husbands, because they may and we must, care not for us.
A tart monkey's this. By heaven, if thou hadst not so much wit, I could find in my heart to marry thee. Faith, bear with me for all of this.
Bear with me. I wonder how thy mother could bear thee 10 months in her belly when I cannot endure thee 2 hours in mine eye.
Alas for you, sweet soul. By the Lord, you are grown a proud, apish, idle, scurvy, disdainful, scoffing. God's foot, because you have read Euphues in his England and the Legend of
My
Lies.
servant, you of all others should bear with my known unmalicious humours. I have always in my heart given you your due respect, and heaven may be sworn I have privately given fair speech of you. I have
Nay,
protested
look
that...
you, for my own part, if I have not as religiously vowed my heart to you, been drunk to your health, swallowed flapdragons, ate glasses, stabbed balms, drunk urine, and done all the offices of protested gallantry for your sake, you tell me I have a brazen face, a leaden brain, and a copper beard.
No, you do not love me.
But I do now. And whosoever dares say that I do not love you, nay, honour you, and if you would vouchsafe to marry...
Nay, as for that, think it as you will. But God's my record, and my sister knows that I have taken drink and slept upon it, that if ever I do marry, it shall be you, and I will marry, and I hope I never say it shall be you neither.
In heaven I shall be as soon weary of health as of your enjoying. Will you cast a smooth cheek upon me?
I cannot tell. I have no prompt shoulders. My back needs no mantle. And yet, marriage is honourable. Do you think you shall prove a cuckold?
No. By the Lord, not I.
Why, thank you, in faith. I slept on my back this morning and dreamt the strangest dreams. Good Lord, how things will come to pass. Will you go to the banquet?
If you will be mine, you shall be your own. My purse, my body, my heart is yours. Only, be silent in my house, modest at my table, and wanton in my bed. And the Empress of Europe cannot content, and shall not be contented better.
Can any heart speak more discreetly affectionately? My father's consent, and as for mine,
Then
well...
thus, and thus. So Hymen should begin. Sometimes falling out proves falling in.
Since you respect my virtue, give me leave to satisfy my reason, though not blood. So, all runs right. Our feigned rage hath taken to fullest life. Now, my right friend, resolve me with open breast. Cannot thy virtue, having space to think, and fortified her weakened powers with reason, cannot all this curb thy low appetite and sensual fury?
There is no God in blood, no reason in desire. Shall I but live? Shall I not be forced to act out some deed whose very name is hideous?
No.
Then I must enjoy Franceschine.
You shall. I'll lend this ring. Take it to that fair devil. It will proclaim me dead, which rumour, with my artificial absence, will make most firm. Enjoy her suddenly.
But if report go strong that you are slain, and that by me, wherein I may be seized, where might I find your being?
At Master Stew's, the jeweller's, to whose breast I'll trust our secret purpose.
I rest yourself. Each man hath follies.
But those worst of all, who with a willing eye do seeing fall.
'Tis true. But truth seems madness in folly's spectacles. I am not now myself, no man. Farewell.
Farewell.
When woman's in the heart, in the soul, how?
Now repentance, the fool's whip, seize thee. If there be no means, I'll be thy friend, but not thy vices. And with greatest sense, I'll make thee feel thy errors to the worst. The vilest of dangers thou shalt sink into. No jeweller shall see me. I shall lurk where none shall know or think. Close, I'll withdraw, and leave thee with two friends, a whore and knave. But is this virtue in me? No, not pure. Nothing extremely best with us endures. No use in simple purities. The elements are mixed for use. Silver without alloy is all too eager to be wrought for use. The end being good, the means are well assigned.
Franca Fuego, Franca Franco. Excellent, excellent. Here's a plump, rumped wench with a breast softer than a courtier's tongue, or an old man's member. Ah, my fine roll.
Ha, you poltroon!
Goody fist. Flumpum, pumpum. Ah, my fine wagtail, thou art as false, prostituted, and adulterous as a translated manuscript. Kiss, fair whore, kiss.
God's sacrament. Pox.
Hadamoy key. Dost frown? Medianthon tu key? Nay, look here. Numeron key, silver blithfor canny, os canny goblet. Ut key, nemoi, blegethoi, ostisten. A pox on you, Gosling.
By my faith, it has been very fine language.
Hadamoy key. Get you gone, punk rampant. Key, common uptail, you...
Cousin, niece, servant, mistress.
Humpum, plumpum. Squat. I vanish.
There is one Master Mallorer at the door desires to see you. He says he shall not be denied. For he has sent you this ring, and withal says, "'Tis done."
"'Tis done."
"'Tis done." What shall we do now?
Tell him 2 hours hence he shall be most affectionately welcome. Tell him,
What shall we say? Tell him I have been in my bath. I shall perfume my sheets, make my body so delicate for his arm. 2 hours hence.
I shall satisfy him. 2 hours. Well.
Now I shall revenge. My brain workage. Freeville is dead. Mallorer shall hang. And Beatrice I will make run mad.
He's gone, forsooth, to it a cordon of cockstones, to prepare his strength for your embraces. He shall return within his 2 hours.
Very well. Give monies to some fellow to squire me. I shall go abroad.
There's a lusty bravo beneath, a stranger but a good stale rascal. He swears valiantly, kicks aboard right virtuously, and protests with an empty pocket quite desperately. He'll squire you.
Very welcome. I shall return presently. There shall be no God in me but passion, no mercy but blood, no spirit but devil in me. There shall nothing be thought good for me, but that is destructive for others.
Well, did no one see him since?
No one.
Pray God.
Nay, all is well. Heard little heat.
What? He's but withdrawn.
And yet I would to God, fear you nothing.
Pray God that all be well, or would I were not.
It's not to be faster, anyway.
You must not make a heavy face presaging an event. I like your sister well. She's quick and lively.
Would she would marry, i' faith?
marry. Nay, if I would marry, methinks an old man's a quiet thing.
Ass, and so he is.
You are a widower.
That I am, i' faith, fair Crispinella. And I would tell you, would you affect me? I have it in me yet, faith.
Troth, I'm in love. Let me see your hand. Would you cast yourself away upon me willingly?
Ah, by the...
Would you be a cuckold willingly? Oh, by my troth, 'tis a fine and handsome sight for one of my years to marry an old man. What a comfortable thing it is to think of her husband, to hear his venerable cough, feel his rough skin, to sir. Summer hands and winter legs, his almost no eyes and assuredly no teeth. And then to think what she must dream of when she considers others' happiness and her own want.
Pish, pish, will you have me?
Will you assure me
A handsome jointure?
that you will die within this fortnight?
No, by my faith, Crispinella.
Then Crispinella, by her faith, assures you she'll have none of you.
By your leave, gentles and men of nightcaps, I would speak, but that here stands one is able to express her own tale best.
Sir, mine speech is to you. You had a son, Master Freeville?
Had. And have.
No, me I'm come to assure you that one Master Malhora hath killed him. Oh me. Wretched. Wretched.
How art thou informed?
If that it please you to go with me, I shall bring you to where you shall hear Malhora with his own lips confess it. There ye may apprehend him and revenge your and mine love's blood.
Your love's blood, mistress. Was he your love?
He was so, sir. Let your daughter hear it. Do not weep, lady. For the young man that we slain did not love you, for he still loved me 10,000 times more dearly. Oh, my heart. I will love you the better. I cannot hate what he loved. Oh, my grief, which way will pray? Peace. Dear woes cannot speak. For look you, lady, this, your ring he gave me, with most bitter jest at your scorned kindness. He did not own not to love me, but sure he did not well to mock me. Gentle minds will pity, though they cannot love. Yet peace and my love sleep with him. Alas, I was not so ambitious of so supreme a happiness that he might only love me. 'Twas enough for me, poor soul, that I might only love him. Oh, but to be abused, scorned, scoffed at, 10,000 devils by such a one and unto such a one. I think you say not true. Sister, shall we know one another in the other world?
What means, my sister?
I would fain see him again. Oh, my tortured mind. Freeville is more than dead. He is unkind.
And so, sir, as you said, set a strong watch.
Aye, sir. So pass along this same common woman. You must make it good.
I shall. Or let me pay for his, mine blood.
Come then, along tightly with quiet speed. Sir, be wisely sorry, not passionate.
Faith.
I shall go and reveal myself. Stay. No. Grief endears love. Heaven, to have such a wife is happiness, to breed pale envy in the saints. Thou worthy, dove-like virgin, without gall, cannot this woman's evil, jealousy, despite disgrace, nay, which is worse, contempt, once stir thy fame? Our truth, how few sisters hast thou? Dear memory, what a suffering sweetness, quiet modesty, yet deep affection. She received my death, and then, with what a patient yet oppressed kindness, she took my lewdly intimated wrongs. Were there but 3 such women in the world, 2 might be saved. Well, I am great with expectation to what devilish ends this woman of foul soul will drive her plots. But Providence, all wicked art, are tops. And impudence must know, though stiff as ice, that fortune doth not always dote on vice.
Plant a watch there. Be very careful, gentlemen.
rest with us.
My chamber is hard by. I shall bring you to it presently.
Keep silence. Fine.
It was his voice. 'Tis Cuckold. He supped with his boon companions. 'Tis late. He must pass this way. I'll have my fine boy, my worshipful Cuckold. I'll moy him. He shall be hanged in lousy linen. I'll hire a secretary to make him a heretic before he die, and when he is dead, I'll piss on his grave.
Ah, my fine punks. Good night. Frank Frailty, frailer frail hall. Buenas noches, my ubiquitari.
We're calling and shaving, sir.
A wolf. A wolf.
A wolf! Is something yet? A cloak. A cloak. Yet I'll after. He cannot escape the watch. I'll hang him. If I have any mercy, I'll slice him!
Who goes down before the constable?
Bread of God. Constables. You are a watch for the devil. There's a false knave in the habit of a vintner set upon me. You would have had my purse, but I took me to my heels. Yet you got my cloak. A plain cloak, poor, yet 'twill serve to hang him. It is my loss. Poor man that I am. Constables.
Master, we must watch better. Is it not strange that knaves, drunkards and thieves should be abroad, and we of the watch never stir?
Hark! Who goes there? An honest man and a citizen.
Appear! Appear! What are you?
A simple vintner.
A vintner? And simple, draw nearer, nearer. Here's the cloak.
Aye, Master Vintner, we know you. A plain stuff cloak, 'tis it? 'Tis it?
Right, come. Oh, thou varlet! Dost thou not know that the wicked cannot escape the eyes of the constable?
What means this violence? As I'm an honest man, I took the cloak.
You are a knave, you took the cloak. We are your witnesses for that.
Hear me, I'll tell you what I am.
A thief you are.
I tell you, my name is Mulligan.
I will grub you. You useless bunch. Come on. Come on. You move me to the stocks. Right. Bring the stocks here. Justice Quadlibet may examine him.
Why, but I tell thee!
Why, I tell thee, we'll tell thee now.
Oh, am I not mad? Am I mad?
Aye,
let him prate. He shall find matter in us scamps, I warrant.
God's son. What a couple of good members of the Commonwealth do we prove?
Brilliant. Peace. Let's remember our duties and let's go sleep in the fear of God.
Who goes there?
Hello?
Oh. Shall I run mad? Lose my wits? Shall I be hanged? Hark, who goes there? Do not fear to be pulled, Mollygrub. Thou hast a sure stop now.
The night grows old, and many a cuckold is now Maids on your backs, dream of sweet smacks and warm I must go comfort my venerable Mollygrub. I must fiddle him till he fart. Maids in your night trails, look well to your light tails, keep close your locks, and down your smocks, keep a broad eye and a close thigh. Excellent, excellent. Who goes there? Now, Lord, Master Mollygrub, deliver us. What does your good worship in the stocks? I pray you come out, sir.
Tell thee, I am locked.
Locked? Oh world, oh night, oh time, oh man, that canst not discern virtue and wisdom and one of the common council. What's your good worshipping for?
For a plague on't, suspicion of felony.
Nay, if it be such a trifle, Lord, I could weep to see your good Lord in this taking. Your worship has been a good friend to me. And though you have forgot me, yet I knew your wife before she was married, and since. And do I live to see your worship in the stocks?
Honest Bellman, I perceive thou knowest me. Prithee, call the watch, inform the constable of my reputation, that I may no longer abide in this shameful habitation, and hold thee. All I have about me.
'Tis more than I deserve, sir. Let me alone for thy delivery.
Do. And then let me alone with Cuckold. I'll moy him.
Maids in your night smocks, pleasing your men's... Ooh. What's this?
Oi, give that...
Master Constable, who's that in the stocks?
One in for a robbery, one Mollygrub he calls himself.
Mollygrub? Dost thou know him? Know him? Oh, Master Constables, what a good service have you done? No. He's a strong faith. His house has long been suspected for a bawdy tavern and a den for cut purses. 'Tis most certain he has long been in the black books. And is he ta'en now?
By Our Lady, my masters, we'll not trust the stocks with him. We'll have him to the justices. Get a warrant to commit him to Newgate presently.
Come, sir, come on, sir.
Does your rascalship yet know my worship in the end?
Aye, the end of your worship, we know.
Goodman Constable, there's an honest fellow can tell you what I am.
Aye, sir. He knows you. He says you're a strong thief, he says, on his own knowledge.
Bind fast! Bind fast! We know you!
Trust no more with the stocks with him. Take him to jail instantly.
Why? But just here, Clement, rogue, rascal, why?
Why? But excellent, excellent. My fine Cuckold. I'll make my Vintner fart crackers before I have done with him. Tomorrow is the day of judgment. Afore the Lord God, my knavery grows unequalled. It's time to take a nap till half an hour hence. God give your worship music, grace, and rest.
Very welcome to my chamber.
But how know ye? How are ye assured both of the deed and of his sure return?
Master Mallory came all breathless to my chamber. He told me he had killed Freeville and bid me to conceal him. I flattered, bid bring monies he should live and lie with me. He went whilst I, me hope without sin, out of my much love to Freeville, betray him.
Fear not, 'tis well. Good works get grace for sin.
And there, peace, rest there. So softly, all going. My cousin Frank, the party you wot of, Master Mallory, bid him come in, I prithee. Oh, my dear man, my all believest love. My 10,000 times welcome, love. What shall we say? What sweet honey name shall I call you?
Any from you is pleasure. Come, my loving prettiness. Where's thy chamber? I long to touch your sheets.
No, no, not yet, mine softest, sweetest little love. You shall not gulp down all delights at once. Fie. I'll make you chew your pleasure in love. The more degrees and steps, the more delight, the more endeared is the pleasure height.
What? You're a learned wanton and proceed by art.
Oh, go, little wag. Pleasure should have a crane's long neck to relish the ambrosia of delight. And I prithee tell me, how did you kill Master Freeville?
Why? Quarrelled on set purpose. Drew him out, singled him, and ran him through and through.
What did you do with him when he was sticking?
Dragged him by the heels to the next wharf and spurned him in the river.
Seize him! Oh, monstrous, oh, ruthless villain!
What mean you, gentlemen? By heaven!
Speak not of anything that's good.
Your errors give you passion. Freeville lives.
Thy own lips say thou liest.
Let me die. If I should choose the jewellers, he lives not safe, untouched.
Meanwhile, to strictest guard, to sharpest prisoner.
No rudeness, gentlemen. I'll go undragged. Oh, wicked, wicked devil!
Sir, the day of trial is this morn. Let's prosecute the sharpest rigour and severest end. Good men are cruel when their vice is friend.
Woman, we thank thee with no empty hands. Trumpets are fit for something.
Farewell.
Aye. For hell. For thou unreprievable, beyond all measure of grace, damned immediately. The things of beauty created for sweet use, soft comfort, and the very music of life, custom, should make so unutterably hellish. Heaven, what difference is in women and their life? What man, but worthy name of man, would leave the modest pleasures of a lawful bed to twine the unhealthful loins of common loves, the prostituted impudence of things senseless, like those by cataracts of Nile? Their use so vile takes away sense. How vile to love a creature made of blood and hell, whose use makes weak, whose company doth shame, whose bed doth beggar, issue doth it fame.
Oh, Freeville, live. Live at Master Chateau's. Master Don Dubon, me pray ye now, go to Mistress Beatrice. Tell her that Freeville is sure dead, and that to curse herself especially, for that he was sticked in her quarrel, swearing in his last gasp, had been in mine quarrels, 'twould never have grieved him. I prithee do, and say anything that will vex her.
Let me alone to vex her.
Will you? Will you make her run mad? Here, take this ring. Say me scorn to wear anything that was hers or his. I prithee torment her. She is honest and virtuous, forsooth.
Is she so? Oh, vile creature. Then let me alone with her.
Sweet. By my troth. Yes. I shall go to bed now.
Mischief with a will thou. Oh, thou tearless woman. How monstrous is thy devil, the end of hell as thee. How miserable were it to be virtuous, if thou couldst prosper. I'll to my love, the faithful Beatrice. She's wept enough, and Faith, dear soul, too much. But yet, how dear it is to think how sweet one's life was to his love, how mourned his death. 'Tis joy not to be expressed with breath. But oh, let him that would such passion drink be quiet of his speech, and only think.
Is it not lawful to die when we should not live?
Sister, it is a question not for us. We must do what God will.
What God will? Alas, can torment be his glory, or our grief his pleasure? Does not the nurse's nipple, juiced over with wormwood, bid the child it should not suck, or does not heaven, when it hath made our breath bitter unto us, say we should not live? Oh, my best sister, to suffer wounds when one may escape this rod is against nature, that is, against God.
Sister, do not make me weep. Your bravery was not false. I'll gauge my life, that strumpet out craft in some close second end hath malice.
Sister, if he were not false, then whom have I lost? If he were, what grief to such unkindness? From head to foot I am all misery. Only in this some justice have I found. My grief is like my love, beyond all bound.
My servant Master Cuckold desires to visit you. For grief's sake, keep him out. His discourse is like the long word, honorificabilitude in etatibus, a great deal of sound and no sense.
By your leave, sweet creatures.
Sir, all I can yet say of you is you are uncivil.
You must deny it. By your sorrow's leave, I bring some music to make sweet your grief.
What ail you, please? I'll break my heart. Canst thou yet pant? Or dost thou yet survive? Thou didst not love him, if thou now canst live.
Oh, love, how strangely sweet are thy passions, that love and joy should meet in self-same fashions. But who can tell the cause why this should move? But only this, no reason ask of love. Only this, no reason ask of...
Oh, peace! The gentlest soul is sweet. My best sister.
In gone. Close the doors. Oh, my Beatrice, oh, cursed be my indiscreet trials, or my immeasurably loving...
She give air, she breathes.
Where am I? How have I slipped off life? Am I in heaven? Oh, my Lord, though not loving, yet by our eternity, give me leave to rest by thy dear Son.
Oh, my eternally much loved, recollect your spirits.
You do speak. I do see you. I do live. I would not die now. Let me not burst with wonder.
Call up your blood. I live to honour you as the admired glory of your sex. Nor ever hath my love been false to you. Only I presume to try your faith too much, for which I most am grieved.
Brother, I must be plain with you. You have wronged us.
I'm not so covetous to deny it. But when my discourse has stayed your quaking, you will be smoother lipped. When you know, you will be mild and quiet, forget at last.
Do you then live? And are you not untrue? Let me not die with joy. Pleasure's more extreme than grief. There's nothing sweet to man but me.
Heaven cannot be too gracious to such goodness. I shall discourse the several chances, but hark, I must yet rest disguise. The sudden close of many drifts now meet. Where pleasure hath some profit, art is sweet.
News, 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 news.
Oysters, 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 oysters.
Smiling.
Is this not better than lowering and pouting and puling, which is hateful to the living and vain to the dead? We must live by the quick when all is done. And for my own part, let my wife laugh at me when I am dead, so she'll smile upon me whilst I live.
Lord, how you prate.
Yet I was afraid of Faith that I would see a garland on this beauty's hairs.
But what's the news? The news, I pray you?
Oh, this 'tis! The public sessions which this day is past hath doomed to death ill-fortuned Mallorer.
But, sir, we heard he offered to make good that Freeville lived at Chateau's the jewellers.
And that was but a plot betwixt them two.
Aye, he gauged his life. But no, when all approached the test, Chateau denied he saw or heard of any such compliment, or of Freeville. So that his own defence appeared so false that like a madman's sword, he struck his own heart. He hath the course of law, and instantly must suffer. But the jester to take notice of one Mulligan, a sharking Vintner.
What of him, sir?
Nothing but hanging. The horse and slave is mad before he hath lost his senses.
Was his guilt clear and made apparent, sir?
No. Faith is suspicious, for 'twas thus protested. A cloak was stolen. That cloak he had. He had it himself confessed by force. The rest of his defence, the anger of a justice wronged in wine, joined with the malignance of some hasty jurors, the knave was cast. Oh Lord, to hear his moans, his prayers, his wishes, his zeal ill-timed, and his words unpitied would make a dead man rise and smile, whilst he observed how fear can make men vile.
Shall we go meet the execution?
Oh, you must make haste.
Will you man us? You shall be our guide.
I am your servant.
Servant? As soon as I am no companion for pandas, you best make him your love.
So will I, sir. We must live by the quick, you say?
What a damn thing's this? All toss fair faces, tears and vows, Steph, not I. She is a woman, that is, she can lie.
Turn not a man of time to make all ill, whose goodness you conceive not. Since 'tis the worst of chance to crave grace for heedless ignorance. Come.
God has found the righteous worthy, and their hope is of immortality. The souls of the righteous are in the hands of God, and no torment will ever touch them. In the eyes of the foolish they seem to have died, but they are at peace, for though in the sight of others they were punished, their hope is of immortality. Having been disciplined a little, they will receive great good, because God tested them and found them worthy. Glory to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and shall be forever. Amen.
So now I have fitted myself. I hope these clothes will do me no harm. I am an honest man already. Fit as a whore's tail that services everybody. By this time, my vintner thinks of nothing but hell and sulphur. He farts fire and brimstone already. Hang toasts. The execution approacheth.
I do not blush, although condemned by laws. No kind of death is shameful, but the cause, which I do know is none. And yet my lust hath made the one, although not cause, most just. Shall I not be reprieved? Freeville is but mislodged. Some lethargy hath seized him. No. Much malice. Do not lay blood upon your souls with good intents. Men may do ill, and laws sometimes repent.
Sir, prepare. Vain is all lewd defence.
Conscience was law, but now law's conscience. my endless peace is made. And to the poor, my purse. My purse.
If it shall please your good worship, the poor has your purse already.
You are a wily man. But now, thou source of devils, oh, how I loathe the very memory of that I adore. He that's of fair blood, well-meaned, good breeding, and would, with desperate impudence, lose all these, to hazard landing at this fatal shore. Let him ne'er kill, nor steal, but love a whore.
The man does rave. Think of God, and bid the flesh, the world, and the devil farewell.
Farewell. Farewell.
What did you say, huh? Oh, prosperous devil, what do we now?
Sir, your pardon. With this, my defence. No requests, no arguments of reason, no known danger, no assured wicked bloodiness could draw your heart from this damnation.
Stay!
Therefore, to force you from the truer danger, I wrought the thing, suffering this fair devil in shape of woman, to make good her plot, and, knowing that the hook was deeply fast, I gave her line at will, till, with her own vain strivings, see here she caught. O thou comely damnation, this thing that vice is not to be withstood, or what is woman merely made of blood?
You amaze us all. Let us not be lost in darkness.
All should be lighted. But this time and place forbids further speech. Only what you think is extremely ill is only hers.
Severest prison with her. With what heart canst live? What eyes behold her face?
I will not speak. Torture. Torture your fill. Me am worse than hanged. Me have lost my will.
Frolic. How is it, sir?
I am myself. How long was it ere I could persuade my passion to grow calm to you? Rich sense makes good bad language, and a friend should weigh no action but the action's end. I am now worthy yours, and before the beast of man, loose blood distempered us. He that lust rules cannot be virtuous.
On the floor there! Room for the prisoner! I pray you do not lead me to execution through Cheapside. I owe Master Burnish the goldsmith money, and I fear he'll set a sergeant on my back.
Trouble not your sconce, my Christian brother, but keep an eye unto the main chance. I will warrant your shoulders. As for your neck, a threefold cord is hardly broken.
I am not the first honest man that hath been cast away. I hope I shall not be the last.
Oh, husband, I little thought you should have come to look on God thus soon. Nay, if you'd been hanged deservedly, it would not have grieved me. I've known of many honest, innocent men who've been hanged deservedly, but to be cast away for nothing.
Good woman, hold your peace, your prittles and your prattles, your pibbles and your babbles. I pray you, hear me in private. I am a widower, and you are almost a widow. Shall I be welcome to your houses, your tables, and to your other things?
I have a piece of mutton and a feather bed for you at all times. I pray, make haste.
I do here make my confession. If I owe any man anything, I do heartily forgive him. If any man owe me anything, let him pay my wife.
I will look to your wife's payment, I warrant you.
Now, good yoke fellow, leave thy poor mother brother.
Nay, that I were unkind to faith. I shall not leave until I have seen you hang.
But, brother, you must think of your sins and iniquities. You have been a broacher of profane vessels. You have made us drink of the juice of the whore of Babylon. For, whereas good ales, ciders, and metheglins were the true ancient British drinks, you have brought in Popish wines, Spanish wines, French wines, both muscadine and malmsey to the staggering, the sometimes overthrow of many a good Christian. You have been a great jumbler. Oh, remember the sins of your nights, for your night works have been unsavory in the taste of your customs.
I confess, and I forgive, as I would be forgiven. Do you know one Cuckold?
Oh, very well. Know him? An honest man is he, and a comely, an upright dealer with his neighbours and their wives. Speak good things of him.
Well, where, sir, he is, and what, sir, he is, I'll take it on my death. He's the cause of my hanging. I heartily forgive him. If he would come forth, he might save me, for he only knows the why and the wherefore.
You do, then, from your hearts and midriffs and entrails, forgive him then?
Yes, yes.
You will not let him rot in rusty irons. Hang him in lousy linen without a song, and after he is dead, piss on his grave.
That hard heart of mine had procured all of this. I forgive as I would be forgiven.
And toasts, my worshipful Mulligrub, my fine Vintner, behold thy Cuckold, my fine boy, my catastrophonical fine boy. Behold, and see.
Bliss of the blessed. Who but look for two knaves here?
No knave, worshipful friends, no knave. For observe, honest Cuckold restores whatsoe'er he has got, to let you know that whatsoe'er he has done has been euphoniae gratia. For wit's sake, I acquit this Vintner, as he has acquitted me. It's all been for emphasis of wit. My fine boy, my worshipful friends.
Go, you are a flattering knave.
I am so. 'Tis a good, thriving trade.
Was even but so. Why then all is well?
I could even weep for joy.
I could weep too, but God knows for what.
Well, here's another match to be made. Your son and daughter.
Is it possible? Why, all my heart. Will you be joined here?
Yes, faith, father. Marriage and hanging are spun both in 1 hour.
Why then, my very fine, worshipful friends, I invite myself most heartily welcome to your merry nuptials and wanton jigger-joggies. And now, my very fine Heliconian gallants, and you, my worshipful friends in the middle region, if with content our hurtless mirth hath been, let your pleased minds at our much care be seen, for he shall find that slight such trivial wit 'tis easier to reprove than better it. We scorn to fear, and yet we fear to swell. We do not hope its best. 'Tis all, if well.